The Breakfast Club.
This is gonna be a short topic. Not much to say here.
Well, let's see what your take is. Take it away.
All right. So for back in, I want to say end of October, early November. Um, okay, let's backtrack before we even get there. For the past year or so, the Breakfast Club has been rotating a third host. Currently, the mainstays are DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God.
Yep.
And their former co-host was Angela Yee. She left. She moved on to do other things. And the two of them, what the show has been doing is rotating a third co-host in over the past year. Jess Hilarious has been on many a times as one of the guest co-hosts, and she did a show. I think it was a comedy show, back in end of October or November, where she, and I might be muddying up these details. I apologize if that's not
But
where
that's why
she
I'm looking
was.
some stuff up.
But
So go ahead. So far, so
I
good.
think that's what it was. She did some sort of event, and she announced that she would be officially the third co-host of the Breakfast Club. So that happened, and then weeks have gone by now, and as far as I know, she has not been back to the show.
Right.
And Charlamagne and DJ Envy are being questioned. Charlamagne specifically. They've been questioned about what happened to their third co-host and when are they getting one. And Charlamagne just keeps saying, I have no idea. In fact, him and Envy a couple weeks ago had a conversation on the show where they said, we don't know what's going on. We were rotating hosts and then now we're not rotating hosts, and it's weird having to talk to each other only. We don't know what's
Right.
happening. So they have made it seem like they have no idea what's going on with this co-host situation.
Yep.
I don't know if they're trolling us and they know exactly what's going on, but they're just trying to save face for the media, or if there really is some sort of issue
Right.
and that they're not that they only have part of the information, or they truly just don't know what's going to happen next.
Okay.
Straight.
So you just don't know. That's your stance.
My stance is I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, and I keep checking every couple of days because we've talked about bringing this up on the pod. But
Right.
I keep checking, and I can't find any additional details. People have said maybe she wasn't contractually permitted to announce that when she did, and maybe that created some issues for her. People talked about, losing your leverage when you do things like that in terms of negotiating your contract. And so, I don't know. There's no detail.
Okay.
There's no information. No one seems to know.
Right. Well, yes, you're correct. Angela Yee left in December of 2022. Most of 2023, they were rotating guest co-hosts.
Mhm.
And yes, she did say something that basically announced she was going to be the permanent host of the Breakfast Club as the third slot. Since then, yes, everything you said is on point. Now, today she responded to something they said. They called SZA this generation's Mary J. Blige. She said those dudes are trash and they should shut up. And yeah, I have the quote here actually. Hold on, I pulled it. I thought
Wait,
maybe you knew, so I didn't.
you didn't even tell me there were new developments.
I mean, I just found it right now. I didn't know. According to Vibe.com,
Mm-hmm.
it says here, weeks after announcing she'd soon join the team, Hilarious took to Instagram to call DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God, quote unquote, trash for comparing SZA to Mary J. Blige. These niggas trash, she began. Envy, shut up. I know artists be pissed when old heads do this because now everybody negative comparing SZA to MJB, and it ain't even her fault. She has her own identity. Okay, so here's what I think. I think, in the words of Ice from the Joe Budden podcast, everything is a rollout. I think this is a rollout. And I think we don't know which thing it's a rollout for. It could either A, be a rollout for Just Hilarious to become that permanent third person, or
Mm-hmm.
B, the rollout for the person we don't know about, who's in the tuck that's about to be the third co-host. Because all of this hype is causing buzz behind this third slot and behind who is going to be this third person.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they got somebody in the stash. Maybe it's not Just Hilarious, but this is how they're rolling out this new person, by causing questions, by causing a buzz, by causing friction, allegedly, because I don't think it's real friction. Um, and maybe that's what's going to be the rollout for. Oh, yeah, I didn't know, but we had an NDA sign. We couldn't say nothing, but Dashing D starting March 1st is the new co-host of the Breakfast Club. And this rolls it right out because everyone's been waiting, everyone's asking, everyone's tweeting, everyone's spectating. Everyone's just trying to figure out what is going on. And so I think this is the perfect rollout, and it seems like that's what's happening to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I think. Now, is it just hilarious? Maybe it is, and things are just not fully contractually finished. And that's why she is chiming in. Maybe her chiming in is just sarcasm and her way of continuing the buzz and the rollout and the conversation. Or maybe not. Maybe it's somebody brand spanking new that we don't know, or maybe it was one of the people that did guest co-host, but they just haven't been who we think might be the front runner.
All possibilities.
That's my take. I think it's a rollout.
I can see that. Well, that's why I said I don't know if they're trolling us. Like I find it hard to believe that Charlamagne and Envy don't know anything.
Right.
Um, I don't think that that's the way. I think maybe years ago, maybe that would have been the case, but today I think they have a lot of autonomy in what they do over at the Black Breakfast Club. So it's not impossible, but probably unlikely that they wouldn't know what was going on. At
Right.
least a
Especially
little
when you're
bit.
supposed to be the big boss of Black Effect. I would think you
Right. That's
got
why
some
I'm like,
pull,
I don't.
some info, some intel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that. Maybe if it was a different radio show, then I would
Right.
say. But I feel like for them, I don't see them being completely in the dark
Right.
about what's happening or not having any say. So, you know.
Agreed.
But I guess it remains to be seen. I think it's. What do you think about it? If it's let's say next week, Monday morning, we find out Just Hilarious is back, and she in fact is the third co-host, and they were just messing around with people. Then what? You
Nothing.
think it was?
That's
You think it was
just
good roll?
regular. I think it's good if it was effective.
Okay.
Did it work? Did it bring in numbers? Did it keep the show buzzing? Did it boost ratings? Because to measure good means we would have to know the goal. What's the goal? I don't know.
Yeah, and I also don't listen to the Breakfast Club enough
Me either.
for it to matter. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's it.
used to listen to Donkey of the Day every day, but just that like 20-minute time
Segment.
block, then that was it. So,
Got it.
but yeah, we'll see what
All
happens.
right. We will.